Jalen Brunson is one of the best point guards in the entire NBA. So it would figure to reason he's probably one of the hardest players to guard as well too. But oftentimes, we never get to hear from current players on how it feels like to guard players like Jalen Brunson. Until now. Recently, a Warriors star in Draymond Green went on his podcast and openly spoke about how difficult it is guarding Jalen Brunson. He also gave flowers to Josh Hart and what he means to this New York Knicks team during this win streak. We're going to break down exactly what Draymond Green said and so much more today. If you're not already subscribed to the channel, go ahead and hit that subscribe button now. And make sure you have notifications turned on so you don't miss a second of the new content. And now, let's get started. Draymond Green speaks openly about how difficult it is guarding Jalen Brunson. Now, for me, I love seeing things like this. I love seeing players after they get beat. And let's not get it twisted. From start to finish, when the Knicks were facing the Warriors, they controlled that game. Shout out to Miles McBride, but also, of course, shout out to Jalen Brunson. He didn't score 40, but he scored 34. Draymond Green, he noticed all of this. He was playing on the floor with him, guarding him in some stretches as well, too. And he spoke about openly the difficulty in guarding a player like Jalen Brunson, especially in the pick and roll. We have to listen to his comments. I'm going to break it down with you guys as we're watching it together. Let's go ahead and roll this clip and let you know exactly what Draymond Green said. Roll it.
It's tough defending Jalen Brunson. If I'm honest, I actually prefer to defend him more in ISO than a pick and roll. He's so crafty, man. You start adding a screen, a pick and roll with Jalen Brunson, and he's coming downhill, and he's got all the pivots and side steps and drawing fouls, and he uses his body great. He finishes well. Jalen Brunson is a 3-level scorer. He can finish at the rim. He can finish in the mid-range. He got a floater. He got a three. He got a pull-up. Like, he scored at all levels.
Stop right there for a second. Shout out to my man, Draymond Green. Jalen Brunson is a 3-level scorer, and there's no lies detected. Can he score in the mid-range? Yes. Can he shoot the three? Yes. Can he take contact? Yes. Can he lay it up? Yes. Can he do craftiness inside the paint with that footwork? Absolutely yes. He can score at each and every single level that the NBA has. Jalen Brunson is absolutely phenomenal. That's basically what Draymond Green said. I just had to mention that because, my goodness, what a compliment right there from Draymond Green to Jalen Brunson. Let's not forget, Draymond Green is a former multiple-time NBA champion, and he's saying this about Jalen Brunson. Let's continue.
And so, me personally, I'd rather guard him one-on-one than guarding him in a pick and roll. Guarding him in a pick and roll is tough, almost impossible. Woo. And like, you're blitzing.
Impossible.
But the thing is with most guys, when you blitz them, they get sped up, they get off the ball. He never gets sped up. He plays at his own pace. So, like, even if you blitz.
Listen to this.
Like, he's not really trying to go somewhere. He's just going to wait till the floor opens up, and then he's going to make his move. And interestingly enough, it works every night.
Works every night. Did you hear what he said about Jalen Brunson? The fact that nothing speeds him up, nothing slows him down. He controls the pace regardless of what you want to do. You want to speed him up? That's cool. He's still going to play his game. That's why he's been so good this year, I think, apart from any other year in his entire career. It's because of the way he's controlling the pace and the way he's dictating it. He is making sure everybody goes to his flow. And if you want him to play differently, too bad. If the ball is in his hands, he is going to play exactly the way he wants to play, regardless of what you do. That's why he's been so good this year. And clearly, that's why Draymond Green is saying Jalen Brunson is so hard to guard because of the way he controls that pace. And that's something that not a lot of point guards have. Some point guards do get sped up. But Jalen, you can't speed that guy up. That is phenomenal play from your point guard. That's what you want to see. Jalen Brunson deserves an all-NBA nod. And Draymond is about to tell you why.
And he is playing at an all-NBA level.
Yep.
It's good to see him getting his due that he's getting. I think, I played Jalen Brunson. We did in the playoffs a couple years ago with Dallas. That is a totally different player. And by the way, he was really good then, so I'm not going to act like he was a bum then and just like who he is now. He was really good then.
Yep.
So much so that in that playoff series, he was actually my matchup. He was their starting guard, but I matched up with him that playoff series because he was that good. So he's been good. Not sure any of us thought he'd be this. It's been fun to watch. JB is one of those guys that you cheer for because he's humble. He's second round pick as National Player of the Year. I know what that feel like. But he's humble.
Facts.
It's been beautiful, to watch his dad get a chance to coach him in the NBA, challenging him in the NBA. Like, I've seen a couple clips where he started complaining. His dad, like, shut up, man, go play. Like, man, that's so dope.
Love, man.
So happy for Rick Brunson and Jalen, man. What they doing over there with the Knicks in the Big Apple, absolutely incredible to watch. And then his one of his Villanova buddies.
Before he goes to the Villanova guys and Donte DiVincenzo and Josh Hart, who he gives a lot of flowers to, and we're going to break down those comments as well, I just have to talk about what Draymond Green just said about Jalen Brunson. We got to say this again. Draymond is a former multiple-time NBA champion. He's seen a lot of different players come and go. He's played with some of the best players in the league. He plays with Steph Curry, one of the best shooters ever. And he's saying this stuff about Jalen Brunson, his craftiness, the way he can speed up or slow down a game, the way he can control that. But more than that, his growth. I think we've all seen it. I know I've seen his growth from year 1 to year 2, definitely from Dallas to now as well. But to hear it from Draymond Green, somebody who went up against him in a serious playoff game, and he talked about Jalen Brunson, his game, the fact that he had to guard him because he was good then. He was a good player then. And now he's an even better player. Jalen Brunson has become an even better player after joining the New York Knicks. Definitely in year 2. He's probably not done yet. He probably still has even more levels to reach for this team. And I can't wait to see him reach it. But to hear Draymond Green speak so highly of Jalen Brunson, somebody who just whooped him in a game that they needed, because they obviously want to avoid the play-in as well too. So they need to win games and make sure they're in the right seating as well. But him coming on his podcast and saying this meant a lot. I know it meant a lot to me. And hearing this stuff about Jalen Brunson just tells me what I already knew. Jalen is turning into a superstar right before our eyes. But let's go ahead and continue what Draymond Green was saying here, because I want to hear what he says about Josh Hart and, of course, Donte DiVincenzo.
Josh Hart is playing out of his mind. And when I say out of his mind, I don't mean that in a disrespectful way. I don't mean that he's not capable. But, like, I think Josh Hart's got like 4 triple-doubles in the last 2 weeks, 2 or 3 weeks or something like that.
He never had one before this season.
Exactly. So he's playing incredible basketball. More you look at that trade last year, they gave him away for a pack of peanuts, and it's been a great addition. And, Josh does all the little things. He rebounds, he passes, he defends, he pushes the tempo. He definitely offensive. I said rebound. Offensive rebound in particular. He's crashing the glass every single time. Just the energy he brings to the floor. He played 48 minutes tonight. You couldn't tell he played 48 minutes. He never seemed to be tired one time.
Right there. 48 minutes. Iron Heart. Iron Man right now for the New York Knicks. 48 minutes. And you're hearing it from a competitor who was on the floor with him. Josh Hart, not tired. And if he was, didn't look like it. Didn't seem like it. Didn't play like it. Josh Hart. Triple-double machine. Didn't have one for his career. And then, now you look up, and magically, he has about 5 to his name over the last few weeks. Triple-double monster, playing 48 minutes. You can't even stop him. And even if you tried to stop him, it doesn't matter, because he always does what you need him to do. Draymond Green just mentioned it, right? He does the little things, the small things, but also the things you need him to do more than anything else. Rebound. And right now, if he was a guard, if you classified him as a guard, he would be one of the best, probably the best rebounding guard in the entire league. However, as you guys just heard, it doesn't matter, because wherever he plays, whatever position he plays, he will always give you each and every single thing he has. He leaves everything out there on the floor every time he goes out there to play. And you know that with Josh Hart. He is a hustle type of player. He gets rebounds like nobody else's business. But more than that, sometimes he wills this team along because of his play. And I think that should be mentioned as well, too. He sometimes is the heartbeat, no pun intended, for the New York Knicks. And I think each and every single New York Knicks fan appreciates him. Josh Hart, shout out to you. Not to mention that trade, like Draymond Green said, looking back at it now, the New York Knicks had a home run of a trade when they made that deal for Josh Hart. Let's continue.
Got to give them guys their credit. And then the other Villanova buddy, which is my guy, Donte DiVincenzo. He's playing well. And I think the beautiful thing about what Donte's doing, they're just letting Donte play. Like, Donte, you go play, you figure it out. He's knocking shots down. He's hitting floaters. He's playmaking. Them boys look good. Got to take your hat off to them regardless of all the injuries that they've been dealing with. They are playing at a very, very high level. And it starts with the head of the snake, Jalen Brunson, and then Josh Hart and Donte and Miles McBride got off tonight. But those three guys in particular, they're doing it night in and night out. And it's, hate to be on the wrong end of it.
Stay classy, Draymond Green. What a great way to go on your podcast, even after getting beat, but giving flowers to your opponents because of the way they played. Jalen Brunson, Josh Hart, and Donte DiVincenzo. The Nova 3, the Nova Knicks, those guys went ahead and did everything they needed to do for this Knicks team to help them secure the victory. And I love to see it. But I also love to see players go on their podcast, if they have one, and make comments like this, especially after a game. He just lost the game to the Knicks, but before he went to sleep, he made it a point to record an episode and give flowers to his opponents. Not a lot of players would do that, but Draymond Green, he's built a little differently, and he did that. I don't want to say anything about the Warriors, what they're doing, what they're going through. They have their own story to write. Let them write it. But Draymond, respect to you. I know your antics. I know the things you've done over the last few years. I know you still have to atone for that. You're still working your way through that. I understand all of that. But for doing this, you've earned a lot of my respect back. You didn't have to do that, but you did. And I definitely appreciate it. I think many New York Knicks fans appreciate it. And this particular thing that you did here actually took on a life of its own. It went viral on social media. Everybody heard what you had to say. I think a lot of people were praising you for saying it just like I am right now. Because again, you don't have to say these things about an opponent that you just faced, but you did. And I think everybody, including myself, appreciates that. Shout out to Draymond Green, but also shout out to one of the best point guards in the entire NBA, Jalen Brunson. As you just heard, if you're going against him and you're going to try to guard him, take heed to what Draymond Green said. Try to go isolation against him, because if you try to go against him in the pick and roll, he's nearly unstoppable. Just saying, watch your back when you're going against Jalen, because he can light you up with the best of them. But what about you guys? What did you think about Draymond Green's comments about Josh Hart, Donte DiVincenzo, and of course, Jalen Brunson? Let me know in the comments below, guys, because honestly, I would love to hear from you. But that's going to do it for this episode. I hope you enjoyed it. And if you did, go ahead and smash that like button, leave a comment below. And of course, guys, please subscribe to the channel. Until next time, Knicks fans. Peace.